Okay guys, before we get started with the video, I just want to make a quick announcement. It is Friday. I'm dropping my very first independent Yu-Gi-Oh! Official Team Samurai X1 Premium TCG accessory deck box, okay? This is going to be the Halloween edition deck box. This deck box is absolutely gorgeous. It's a Vampire Pumpkin Dark Edition. It's a double deck box. It comes with an exclusive field center, and also at the same time it comes with a Team Samurai X1 exclusive divider as well. I'm doing pre-orders this Friday at 6 p.m. PST, meaning 9 p.m. EST on Deckbox pre-orders. Guys, only 200 of these are ever going to be made. If you guys want to help support the channel, it'll be absolutely amazing. You guys can pre-order your Deckbox this Friday at tx1.com. 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. And that's pretty much it. All right, guys, let's dive straight into the deck profile. So, what is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team Samurai X1 here. Today, I'm coming at you guys in my first place, undefeated. Yes, you heard it right. 6-0 Dark Magician deck profile for you guys today. So, I really hope you guys enjoy today's video. Locals is back in Toronto in my area, so I go to Locals every Saturday at Dolly's. Also, at the same time, in this video, a lot of you guys have been requesting for a test hand segment, how I play with certain hands that I have. And today I have like, I think 5-6 test hands that I want to showcase you guys on how to properly play this deck, how I'll play certain hands in certain situations, etc, etc. And that's pretty much it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. For those of you here on the channel for the very first time, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Make sure you guys turn on this notification bell to get notified each time I upload videos. They'll be absolutely amazing. Don't forget to, you know the drill. And yes, here's my prizing for first place. There you go. Just 4 OTS packs for this tournament right here, which is pretty cool. I got OTS 15. And yeah, all right, guys, don't waste any more time. Without further ado, undefeated 6-0 first place OTS Dark Magician deck profile for the brand new October 1st, 2021 ban list. All right, guys, let's do it. So first and foremost, this deck list is a little bit different from the previous list I showcased you guys last week. So we're starting off with 2 Dark Magicians, only 2 copies is all you need for this Dark Magician based deck. I realize that 3 can sometimes be a little bit too bricky, and honestly 2 is just the perfect ratio. So 2 copies of Dark Magician, and last but not least 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl. Dark Magician Girl becomes really amazing with Soul Servant, and the reason why this deck is so good is because you're going to be able to send Dark Magician and also Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard on the very first turn, and having cards like Soul Servant while having these 2 cards in the graveyard, Soul Servant becomes a consistent pot of greed every single turn. So Dark Magician Girl is just really important for that, and especially with Salvation coming out, she becomes absolutely broken, right? So 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl and 2 copies of Dark Magician, absolutely mandatory to play in the deck. Next off, the best starter card in the deck, hands down, triple copies of Magician's Rod. This card is so good. People don't understand how important his secondary ability is. Anytime you use a spawn trap card during your opponent's turn, you contribute a spellcaster monster to add this card back from your graveyard to your hand. So if you activate cards like Eternal Soul on your opponent's turn, you're actually able to trigger off Rod to, let's say, tribute the Dark Magician that you brought back and add Rod to your hand, so that way that you have consistent follow-ups on the following turn. So Rod is just so good. Obviously, triple copies of Magician Souls. I know that this card is a little bit expensive right now, but if you want to play this deck competitively, I highly recommend you guys playing this card. On the first turn, if you open up with Rod and also Magician Souls, you automatically get to send Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard on the very first turn, right? Because Birdie Anaconda sends Dark Magician, and Souls will send the Dark Magician Girl. And if you have cards like Soul Servant, you instantly just draw 2 cards right there and then. And you can also send your duplicates, circles, or your Dead Red Eyes fusions that's in your hand to the graveyard. You just basically just draw 2 free cards. So essentially another copy of Pot of Greed for the deck, which is really nice. Next off, of course, the 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon for the Red Eyes Fusion, obviously. And Red Eyes Fusion is obviously an integral part of this deck right here to make Dragoon. And last but not least, the 1 copy of Dogmatica Ecclesia, the Virtuous. She's absolutely phenomenal. I think she's one of the reasons why the deck was just so good. The fact that you can freely special summon her from your hand while there's an extra deck monster that will special summon is really good to help you get access to Dogmatic of Punishment, which is absolutely incredible. And it's a trap card that literally pops 2, which is insane for a deck like this. So 1 Dogmatic Ecclesia, absolutely amazing. Next off for your spells, triple copies of Dark Magical Circle. This card is absolutely phenomenal. It's your pot of duality for the deck, and also at the same time with cards like Soul Servant, you can guarantee stack your cards so that way that circle can always successfully resolve, and it's one of the interruptions that you have during your opponent's turn to partner off alongside Eternal Soul, right? So Dark Magical Circle is insane. One of the best cards in the deck. Your triple pot of greed. This card is ridiculous. Stack any Dark Magician card to the top of your deck, And if you have Dark Magician, Girl in the grave, you at least draw one. But if you have both Girl and Dark Magician, you draw 2 cards, which is absolutely ridiculous. Next off, you want Magician's Salvation. Only 1 copy of Salvation is all you need for the deck. You can always stack this card using Soul Servant, because Soul Servant stacks from the graveyard too. So if you ever need a second copy, you can always Soul Servant this card back to the top of your deck, which is absolutely insane. Salvation becomes insane with Eternal Soul. Sets Eternal Soul to your side of the field, and once you activate Eternal Soul to revive back Dark Magician, you can easily just target the Dark Magician to revive back Dark Magician Girl. So you have free fodder for tribute using Magician's Rod, right? Which is so good. So card's really great, and with Rod and with Soul Servant, you have multiple copies of this card in your deck. So only 1 copy is all you need for the deck, in my opinion. And next off, of course, for your fusions, triple copies of Red Eyes Fusion. This card is ridiculous. Yes, this is a Dragoon based deck. Red Eyes Fusion becomes insane in this deck because 1, not only does it get you access to Dragoon, but it's essentially your copies of Illusion Magic for the deck. Red Eyes Fusion is a card that always guarantees you that you have Dark Magician in your graveyard, so that way you can always trigger off Eternal Soul and also Dark Magical Circle. A lot of people are gonna diss, yeah, this is a Dragoon based deck. Well, what do you expect? Like, this is Dark Magicians. This is how you competitively play Dark Magicians. And I feel like the most justifiable way to play Dragoons is to play it in Dark Magicians, right? And once you summon Dragoon backed up with a bunch of traps, you pretty much just win the duel. So you must maximize yourself playing triple copies of Red Eyes Fusion. This card is just absolutely essential. Last but not least, Secrets of Dark Magic. This card is really good. Really good to set up OTK plays, especially with Magician's Salvation now. You're always going to have Dark Magician Girl on the field. You can enter battle phase 2k, 25, and then Dark Magic, and Fusion Summon, and then you pretty much just have more lethal damage, right? So Secrets is nice. Next off for your traps, double copies of Eternal Soul. You're playing essentially with 3 Rod, 3 Soul Servant, copy of Salvation. You have multiple copies of this card in your entire deck, so you don't need more than 2 copies at all, right? So Eternal Soul is insane. Next off, this card is so good while going first and going second. Triple copies of Solemn Strike. This card is absolutely ridiculous. One of the cards that helps you break boards going second, and it's also a card that helps prevent your opponent from making boards while going first. So Strike is ridiculous. You win if you see it. Next off, double copy Solemn Judgment. I couldn't find space for the third one, but Judgment is just insane. It's Judgment. You know, going first, set 5 backward with Judgment. You pretty much just win the duel, right? Next off, triple copies of Dogmatic Punishment. This card is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that this card is a card that is 2 for 1. You know, it's a 1 trap that kills 2 because you can send Entis to the graveyard to pop an additional card is absolutely ridiculous. So Dogmatic Punishment is just insane, especially the fact that you're just playing 1 copy of Dogmatic Ecclesia. Next off, of course, Triple Ice Dragon Prison. This is the best card in the game right now, like 100%. Like, I think this card's the best trap card ever made against Virtual World, which is really popular right now. They can't out this. Like, you activate Ice Dragon, you win the duel. Like, Banish Shen, like, it's basically game. This card is just absolutely ridiculous. Definitely my MVP for the entire weekend, hands down. This is why I won my matches. And last but not least, of course, double Trenchal Tribute. It's so jokes to this deck because Trenchal doesn't kill your own Dragoon, right? So you can just overextend whatever, Trenchal Tribute, and you just have Dragoon still on the board. You pretty much just win, right? So Trenchal is just absolutely broken. And last but not least, you're playing 3 Floods, the Skill Drain, double Robbery of Warlords, and that's pretty much rounds off for my 40 card base deck, right? I wanted to play Golden Match also in the main, but I couldn't find space with all the amount of cards I'm playing in the deck. But I felt like with Dragoon Rivalry and Dragoon with a bunch of trap cards, you just basically win the duel. The deck is super consistent. The fact that you get access to Soul Servant to just draw 2 cards every time is absolutely ridiculous. So double Rivalry, Skill Drain is pretty nice. Off to your extra deck real quick for your fusions, of course. Double copies Dragoons. 1, the Dark Magicians. This card is really good, by the way. You draw cards constantly every single turn, which is really good. But Dragoon is obviously the MVP. And anyone that dissed that, yeah, this is Dragoon based deck, like I said, like, bro, come on, like, this is the Dark Magician card, like, please respect it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Dragoon is just absolutely insane. This card honestly should get banned, but I'm gonna play this deck until he gets banned, right? Next off, the 1 Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. I usually make this often if I have like 5 back row. I want to find a way to protect the back row. So Dark Magician, Dragon Knight is really good for that. And it's always treated as a Dark Magician. So whenever you revive this card from your graveyard with Eternal Soul, you're going to be able to trigger off your Dark Magical Circle. So remember that. This card is always a Dark Magician, which is really good. Next off, of course, Titanic Clyde to search your Ecclesia if it needs be with Punishment. Also at the same time, double copies of Entis. These cards are just very awesome cards. Great utility cards. Search Ecclesia, pops more cards with Dogmatic of Punishment. One Big Eye and one Zeus is all you need for the Xyz monster in your extra deck. Big Eye Steel card, make Zeus pretty much game. Verde Anaconda, you summon this card, you win the duel. If this card doesn't get negated, then you just win, right? Verde Anaconda becomes insane. IP Masquerena, the Unicorn. These cards are really good. IP, if you already went through your Anaconda, you make IP. So that way that you have additional interruption with Unicorn, right? And most decks can't beat 2 interruptions this format. Decks like Tri-Brigades, you only have 2 plays, right? The special summon off Kurez, and of course the normal line of play. If you can banish one with Eternal Soul and stop the other one with Unicorn or the Dragoon, you pretty much just win the duel, right? Next off, the Link Spider, very essential. And last but not least, you want to play Access Code and also Celine, Queen and Master of Magicians, to run off your extra deck. She revives back Dragoon too, which is insane. Next off for your side deck, shouts to Pac, man. I learned a lot from his side deck theory with his Eldritch deck, but Inspect Border is insane. A lot of people side deck into heavy removal, and they're trying to get rid of your back row, but hey, like, you summon Inspector Border, and then now they have a monster floodgate that they have to deal with, right? And once you summon this card, you win. Like, you don't even need to use any Dark Magicians or Rod's effect once you summon Border, because all you're going to do is just Border set 5, constantly Eternal Soul, bring back Dark Magician, push for damage. And once you have this card on the field, you basically just wipe out the entire duel, right? Like, this card is so good. Next off, triple copies into your Servant against mid-range slow decks. I side this card in. Huge shots to Pac, man. This card is so good. It's a side deck card. It comes MST while going second. Pop, the Chuche. He go into your Servant, send Entis, pop the Chuche. It's just so good. This card is insane, guys. Like, the Dear Servant is ridiculous. Next for Virtual World, I play Broken Line. This card is really good to help out the Ultimateness alongside with Torrential Tribute, which is really good. So just additional Storm Strikes that I'm playing in the side deck right here. So double Broken Line. Next, Heavy Storm Duster for the Virtual World matchup. The best way they win is to grind with you, and you need to stop them from doing that immediately. So you want to get rid of their Chuche as quickly as possible. And Chuche can be really annoying against Eternal Soul, so Heavy Storm Duster just takes care of that. And last but not least, you want to play your Floods. Goals in Match. There are times when Goals in Match is good against some matchups, while Rivalry isn't really that good. So you can put in Rivalry and put in Goals in the same time, depending on the matchup, which is really nice. So Floodgates are really strong. Now after your one-offs, the third Judgment in the side deck for going first, the Torrential Tribute, and last but not least, the Imperial Order to round off for all the trap cards you're playing in the side deck. So side deck is absolutely perfect, and that pretty much rounds off for my 6-0 deck list. Let's go on with some test hands that you guys can do with this deck right here. Alright guys, welcome to the test hand segment of this video. I really hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to showcase you guys some example test hands that we can draw and how I would play out with the hand that I'm given. Like I said guys, this is all random, depends on what I get. And just a quick announcement, if you guys haven't gone your TX1 playmat, make sure you guys get this beautiful Darkest Phoenix playmat today in the link down below at tx1.com. And we're obviously going to be going first, so let's see on what our opening 5 would give us right here. So draw for turn. So Circle, Judgment, Torrential, Eternal Soul, and Rivalry of Warlords, okay? So this hand doesn't look like the greatest hand right now, but we have a bunch of Floods. You have, of course, Rivalry, Torrential, Solemn Judgment. This should already be good enough to actually just prevent your opponent from playing, which is what we're trying to do. But it all depends on what we get off Circle, right? The only thing that we kind of want right now off Circle is just, what's it called? Dark Magician. So we're going to go Magical Circle, activate 3. Oh, we drew into a Soul Servant. Which is insane. So we can add Soul Servant to our hand. We can stack this any way we want, and it doesn't really matter because what we're going to do is we can go Soul Servant. We can stack Magician Souls to the top of our deck. You stack this to the top of your deck. You have this in the graveyard for the following turn, and you just set 4 back row, and you end your turn. This is what I would do. Not bad, because what you can do is that you can flood them out. Like, you literally do this, Torrential. Like, there's no way they're beating you. Like, even if they Lightning Storm you, you have Judgment. Yeah, good luck playing through Torrential and also Rivalry of Warlords. Let's just say you use Solemn Judgment and Torrential, right? And you didn't use Rivalry. And then they end their turn. What you can do is that you draw for turn, you draw Souls, right? What you do simple, you activate Souls. Okay, Souls effect. Cost, you are going to send your Dark Magician to the grave. Special summon Souls. And now what you can do is that you can activate Eternal Soul. Okay, to revive back Dark Magician. Okay, cool. You activate Circle, you banish the card they control. Which is really nice. Now what you do is simple. Dark Magician's in the graveyard first for Link Spider. And it all depends on what you have, right? You can go these 2,
for Verde Anaconda, and then you pay 2k life points. Send these to the grave, summon Dragoon. Okay, right? And then look, we have no cards in our hand, right? But guess what? We have Soul Servant that's in the graveyard. So you can actually banish Soul Servant that's in our grave. Just draw one more card. And then you just keep this card in your hand for Dragoon, which is what's really important. So you keep this card for Dragoon, and now you pass turn. And now on your opponent's turn, you have Eternal Soul, activate Eternal Soul's effect, revive back Dark Magician, activate Circle, banish something, which is insane. And then if anything, you have Rivalry as well. This will go to grave, and this is your board right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on what your opponent has. Next turn, you drew into Salvation. This is a little bit ridiculous. Salvation is just so good. So yeah, it just depends on the cards you have in your hand. There are so many different line of plays you guys can go with this deck. Remember guys, this deck is a control deck. It's not a combo heavy deck. It might take you one turn to set up, but once you set up, you pretty much just, you know, win the entire duel from there on in, as long as you get access to Dragoon. So let's go on with our second test hand right here. Let's see on what hand we can actually draw. Okay, let's cut our deck. Let's draw 5. Okay, so this is this right here. Wow, this is pretty good. So what I would do is immediately, like, screw everything else. I'm gonna go Red Eyes Fusion. If they don't stop this, you pretty much win the duel. So you go Red Eyes Fusion. Like this, like if you have this in your hand, you just activate. You shotgun it. Like you just send this to the grave. They better have the Ash. If they don't, then they lose. You know, you go this, you go Red Eyes. Okay, cool. Because now you go Salvation right here. Salvation trigger off its effect to set the Eternal Soul. Imagine this card says you can activate Eternal Soul in the exact same turn it was set. That would be ridiculous. You unfortunately can't summon Ecclesia this turn, but don't worry, Ecclesia is always great to follow up. And now you go Circle, and you just reveal 3. 1, 2. You don't reveal. You just look at 3. These are the worst 3 cards you can actually ever draw. You can just arrange this in any way you like. Just get the Judgment. Now you pass your turn to your opponent. You activate Eternal Soul on their turn. You have 2 interruptions right here, and most decks can't beat 2 interruptions. You know what I'm saying? Like Tri-Brigades only have 2 plays. You interrupt both their plays, you win the duel. Summon Mago Negro, and then you activate Circle, banish a card, and then you draw for turn. Obviously, it's not the greatest, but still, like you go Eternal Soul, special. There are a bunch of things you can do. So that's basically a second test hand, which isn't that bad. You can also special this and then just go Ecclesia as well, which is really good. And Ecclesia can search your punishment. And like it's a control deck. It's not a really combo heavy based deck. And guys, the simple the better. You know what I'm saying? Like all you need is a Dark Magician. Like this, just beat your opponent down with this, and having Circle, you pretty much just like win the duel, right? And you also have Judgment. Let's go on to another test hand real quick. Like here you go. Okay, let's draw for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this hand is insane. Wow, this hand is ridiculous. You can go Rod. I would add Soul Servant. I'll go Soul Servant. I would stack Dark Magician. And I can go Circle, real 3. Obviously get the Ice Dragon Prison. Stack that on top of the deck. Then you set this, and then you pass. You have 1, 2, 3 interruptions, 4 interruptions right here in forms of traps. If the board is threatening, you can go Punishment right here. You can send Titaniclide to the graveyard, pop a monster, and then during the end phase, you activate Titaniclide's effect. You search Ecclesia, right? Which is really good. So that way that you have access to more interruptions. And now at this point, like you just need to control the board. You just really hope you draw into Eternal Soul, right? So that's pretty much it. You draw a card, Rivalry of Warlords. Okay, you summon Ecclesia, activate Ecclesia's effect. You search another punishment. So it's like you guys get the gist of this deck, right? It's just like more control. You don't always get Dragoon, but when you do, you guarantee win. But if you don't get the Dragoon, you have like a bunch of traps you can just back up with, right? Like this is, how are they, like, can you explain to me how they're beating this? If they have Lightning Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like you're literally amazing. Like you're the best Yu-Gi-Oh player in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like this hand is just so good. All right, guys, last and final test hand. Let's see. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit long, but you guys want to have a better understanding of how this deck works. So I'm just gonna do that for you guys. Anyways, last final test hand. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. You already. All right. You pray they don't ash you on this. You activate Red Eyes Fusion. Send this, of course, and the bad boy Red Eyes B Dragon. Summon the boy himself right here. And now you shuffle your deck, let your opponent cut. And you go Circle, Reveal 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. I feel like this will be good. I think Salvation is better. And then you go Salvation. You set Eternal Soul. Then you set this, and you set this, and this. And you pass your turn to your opponent. And this is your, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions. This is 5 interruptions. This pops 2, negates 1, pops 1, negates 1. Like, guys, come on. Like, this deck is insane. Please. On your opponent's turn, Eternal Soul, banish. Dragoon, negate. Nice. Oh, you summon something. Solemn Strike. Congratulations. Oh, you summon something. Oh, Punishment. Send Titanic Light. Pop a card. And I don't. If they have any more ways to extend and break this board, like they're just good at Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point. And then you send Titanic Light, end phase. You search Ecclesia, and then you draw for turn, right? And then you draw for turn. Wow. That's ridiculous. You go Ecclesia, effect, search, punishment, Soul Servant. I'd stack Magician's Souls to the top of my deck. Okay, unfortunately you can't go in your extra deck this turn because you punishment your opponent. And then what you can do is that you can go Souls, reveal Souls, you can dump. I would dump Dark Magician to the grave because you have this on the field already. So you can trigger off Eternal Souls once again. Okay, so you send this, summon this. And then what you can do is that you can activate Souls. You can just send this to the graveyard. Just draw a free card. You drew Rod. You haven't even normal summoned yet, so you're pretty much even more lit. You can just go this again. Oh, by the way, oh, sorry. I have to banish this card to draw into the Souls. You can search Soul Servant again. You set Punishment. And then you pass. You guys get the gist of this deck. It's a control deck. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it, guys. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the Dark Magician deck profile. I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning into this first place OTS deck list. Give this deck a try. Let me know your thoughts about this deck, and hopefully the test hands helped you guys out on how to properly understand how to play certain hands that you guys have access to. Depends on all the draws, right? Depends on what you draw, and that's pretty much it. Guys, remember, this Friday, 6 p.m. PST. That means 9 p.m. EST. Pre-orders on the special edition Halloween deck box, Vampire Edition. Truer than ever made. It's gonna be a special bundle with field centers and dividers. Make sure you guys save the date in your calendars and check out the website and subscribe to get the latest updates and news on whenever I drop exclusive TXX1 products. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy Sam from Team Sam signing out. All right, guys. Peace!